So you guys just did a role play where the first role play was dysfunctional and the second one was functional. So in the first one, there was a little bit of passive aggressive that I saw maybe on Jordan's end, and also a little bit that you backed down, so that would be compromising, or shit, I don't remember what it's
Accommodating.
called. Collaborate or accommodating in what?
Avoiding, right?
Okay. Which would be accommodating and avoiding. And then you weren't willing to budge, so that is also dysfunctional. So then when we went to the functional, you guys were able to compromise and came to possibly a resolution that was equally satisfying to both of you. Jordan, do you see yourself in any of the previously listed dysfunctional conflict cycles?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably avoidance and passive aggressive.
Okay. And what about you, Warren?
Absolutely not.
Come on. Come on. Which ones do you see yourself in?
Collaborative.
No, the dysfunctional
Functional
one.
None.
No, come on. That just proves that he's avoidance and also competitive.
No comment.
All right. So now I'd like to introduce you to the STLC system, which is an acronym to stop. This is when you're in the conflicts. You're going to want to stop, think, listen, and communicate. Yes, it is. So this approach allows conflicting parties to use a steps approach when in conflict. Okay. So first, you're going to want to stop when you're in the conflict, and before you say or do anything to the other person, take a time out. Do something that is calming and relaxing, such as counting back from 100, or
Sounds tedious.
or going for a walk with your dogs, or whatever you find calming and relaxing. And then you're going to think of what you would do after you have stopped the conflict. What is calming and relaxing to you, Jordan?
Listening to music.
Okay, that's great. What about you, Warren?
Beating up a pillow.
Why did I know you were going to say something like that? I knew you were going to say, like, oh, hitting something, or, you know.
Yeah, well, if that's calming and relaxing, then that's a whole nother class.
Anger.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So after you have taken a time out, it is time to think. So you should think about what your goals in the conflict are. What are the goals of the other party? And what are some acceptable outcomes for you? And how do you plan on meeting your desired outcomes? The important part of all of this is to be creative in order to be effective managers of conflict. Do you have something? No?
No, I don't.
Okay. So next step of the STLC system is to listen. Listening means you are not thinking about what you will say next, but instead you are in the moment and giving the other party your full attention. Active listening is important to reduce defensiveness. Leaning in, head nodding, and eye contact all convey that you are actively listening.
So, teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
If your partner
Yes.
is not looking at you and is like twiddling their thumbs and it looks like they're really thinking about something, and then they come back at you really quickly after you say things, they're probably not listening to what you're saying, huh? They're probably just thinking about what they're going to say next in a competitive manner.
Probably that is probably happening.
Okay, I just wanted to
You
make
might
sure.
want to remind the other party to stop and take time to think.
That's right.
Okay. So lastly, after you have stopped, thought, and listened to your partner, you may want to communicate. Or you may communicate. That's your last step, is to communicate. You should be assertive in your communication. Assertive communication is having the ability to speak up for one's interests, concerns, or rights in a way that does not interfere with the interests or infringes on the rights of others. Please take a handout and use the personal conflict that you are asked to think about in the beginning of the workshop to answer the questions. So basically, I'm going to be passing you guys out a handout to see that you have, if you were able to take in this information and apply it to yourself. So that's the last part of this, and I think that's the last slide. Yep, so thank you for coming to my conflict communication workshop.